Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hey there, how you doing? Welcome to the program. It's a Tuesday, which means Susan's here. Well, it sometimes means Susan's here. Last Tuesday, it didn't mean Susan was here because I screwed things up. And let's hope we can get her on now. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, goody. All right.
Yeah, I was here. I just couldn't get in.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, nobody could. So it's okay. We're cool now, I think. I was a little nervous because I had some difficulties yesterday as well, but here you are. Here I am, and we're ready to go. Whew. And you're back home in Chicago, right?
I am home in Chicago just for a couple of days. I have to go right back again. It's getting crazy. I don't have any time to do anything here, but I got to see a dance recital and a 5th grade graduation. And on a whole, if you want an honest review, the dance recital of preschoolers was far better than the 5th grade graduation.
Well, those dance recitals
I was moved to tears twice during, and I didn't know any of these little kids from Adam, but I was moved to, except for one, I was moved to tears twice in the little dance recital, and just mostly aggravated through the 5th grade graduation.
So the 5th grade, why were you aggravated? And I'm interested.
Well, I mean, it was cute. I mean, listen. First, we start out. I've spoken about this before. I guess I was spoiled by the quality of my children's education, because the music that they produced in elementary school was always so pleasing. I mean, those kids were really taught.
All right. Well, that is not normal. That is not normal.
No. So when I go and hear like the 5th grade band concert, and you're just going, I mean, you're going, "Oi, this is like the Music Man, and it's the Think System."
Yeah. Sure. It's reality.
Okay. So that was okay. That part I give them a pass. The part that I thought was absolutely, they demonstrated that these 5th grade teachers couldn't do math, was that they said something about every single graduating student. They called them up, and then they said something, which was fine, but it ended up being like 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And there were.
You mean for each kid? 3 minutes? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I leaned over to Arlie like when we were a third through the first, third. And I said, "Do they know how many kids they have?"
So how long did this thing go on? Oh, that's rough.
Well, about 2.5 hours.
Oh, dear God. I have to tell you, graduations of almost any time are unbearable to me. Just unbearable. I hate them.
Well, this was.
I don't go to my own.
Well, and for all sorts of reasons, I did not approve. I did not approve, and I did not approve. And the biggest one is if you have 60 kids, you can't say an equally nice thing about each kid, and it becomes obvious
that it doesn't. None of it means anything then. I mean, it's just
either none of it means anything, or some kids are getting a really nice send-off, and some kids they didn't like very much. Oh. Or some teachers do this better than other teachers.
Yeah, bad idea. I mean,
it's just a bad idea. I did it. I was a good grandmother. I did it.
But I mean, this is just more of this sort of elevation of kids in ways that is not good for them. Just, stop making them so goddamn important all the time and special. I'm sorry, Fred Rogers. But enough. God, just enough.
Yeah, every moment doesn't have to be the moment.
No, doesn't have to.
It just makes them all disappointing.
Well, I hear you. I do.
You know, like I used to think that my wedding, I used to be embarrassed about my wedding proposal. Now I'm proud of it. You know, I mean, now that you have to have these productions and a camera crew and a secret party, and
I
if
hate that stuff.
the person hasn't already agreed to it, then you're a real dumbclaw because you're setting yourself up. But anyway, you know, every moment isn't. That's not how real life happens. In real life, you're with someone and you quietly decide somewhere on the line that sure you're going to get married. You know,
Yeah.
the proposal is sort of beside the point, and the effing ring should come when you can afford it. But anyway, we're off subject.
Well,
I'm just saying, all of these moments are so jacked up.
I'm thinking of when it was decided I would get married. I was walking with my, the guy, in New York City, and we were on some sidewalk somewhere heading back to my place, and he said, "So, maybe we should get married." And I said, "Yeah, I guess." And we just kept walking.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well,
I mean, in
okay.
my case,
Yeah, but
okay.
And
Yeah,
then
go ahead.
as for the ring, it was when I was I was doing the laundry at mom's house, and this must have been right before the wedding or something. And he came in. I was putting a load in, and he gave he he had a ring, and he said, "Your mom said I should give you this. It was her mom. I don't know. It was one of Nana's rings with a diamond in it."
Yeah, diamond in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is literally how it. And I said, "Oh, well, thanks." And as you know, my wedding ring, I was so
I picked out.
uninterested that you went. Susan went with my
And picked
husband to
out
be.
something you hated.
I did. I hated that ring.
Well,
So yeah,
serves you right. You should have picked it out yourself.
I should have, but I have to tell you, um, this everything is a production. It is so it makes me puke. It makes me puke.
Well, at least you got asked. I got a hypothetical.
The hypothetical sounded. Remind us.
Well, okay. So I had graduated from law school. Eric had just graduated from medical school. He had a year of internship to do in St. Louis, and I had a job offer in Minneapolis. I was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to convince me to stay. And I said, I can't stay here. I don't have a job. I have a job there. That's where I have to go. And he said, well, don't you think we should just, see what happens here? And I said to him, well, you got to make me a whole lot better offer than that if you expect me to give up a job and just stay here. And he said, well, if I asked you to marry me, what would you say? And I said, that's what I get, a hypothetical? That's what I said. And I laughed and I said, well, if you were to ask such a question, I'd say yes. And he looked at me and he said, does this mean we're engaged now?
Well, not technically, because he hadn't asked.
That's right. And I said, yes, I being the lawyer of the two, he being a mere shrink and not knowing how to close a deal, I just wrapped this one up.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but no dropping on a knee, none of that. He ended up making up for it later on, but it was always through teasing me about, because I said I didn't want a ring because we didn't have any money.
I know.
And
it's also insane.
I said that, well, we've got plenty of time. And he said, you got plenty of time to buy me jewelry. We don't need it right now. And he teased me and made me call his mother and insist that's what I meant and blah, 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 blah. and then of course on Valentine's Day, following the non-proposal, there was the most gorgeous ring waiting for me, just sitting on my dining room table.
Well, there, see,
And then he
had
and
some
then he
romance
said,
in him.
I put it on. I just thought, oh my God! And my birthstone is a ruby. It was the most beautiful teardrop ruby with a trillion diamond. That's a diamond-shaped diamond on either side, and just beautiful. And he looked at me and he said, "But you can't keep it." I said, "What do you mean I can't keep it?" And they said, "Well, they flawed the stone. I can't allow you to keep it." I said, "Well, can I wear it for a week?" So I wore it for a week.
When Susan, stop, because when you start talking about jewelry, it gets
boring. Anyway, so that's it.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Susan is very specific about jewelry. I have jewelry. I wouldn't know the name of any stone in any jewelry I have, or the names of any. And invariably, if anyone compliments me on any jewelry I am wearing, if I'm wearing it, it's something that either Mom or you gave me. So
I know, we bedazzle you all the time.
Yeah.
I picked up Mother's bad habit. Mother has given you all her jewelry, and now I give you all my jewelry.
Well, you both have so goddamn much of it, but giving it to me is like, I don't know. I don't wear
give it back. I like everything I give you.
How much jewelry did you wear? Oh, God.
Well, that's why I give it to you.
Yeah.
That's
anyway,
why I give it to you.
No, I appreciate it. Every once in a while I put it on, and it's very special. So, okay, enough already. Jesus H. I saw somebody ask a question of, when people say Jesus H, what does the H stand for? And I don't know.
It's his middle initial.
Yeah,
it's just a joke.
I know, but what do you think the name is?
Horatio.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. Okay.
Could be Hiram. Josaphat.
Henry.
Hosea.
Henry. Harold. What's that one like Hezekiah? It's not Hezekiah. It's, what is it? It's Hezekiah. Is that a name?
Hezekiah.
That's sort of neat.
Hezekiah. Yeah.
Hezekiah. I'm getting Jehovah. I'm getting Holy. I'm getting Harold.
Jehovah.
No, Jehovah. How's that an H? That's a J. Jesus, J. No, that wouldn't work. Jesus, H. Anyway, enough. Okay. Oh, I don't know where to start here. I don't know where to start. It's one horrible thing after another, Suze.
Did you see
what?
Trump's portrait?
No. I saw that there was a new portrait,
it is like a bad movie. It's like if you were on a movie set of like a Joker movie or something, and there would be a portrait of the villain on the wall.
Well, that's the way he likes.
That's what it looks like.
Well, that's what he likes. That's why he's had his mugshot.
Yeah, it's sort of like his mugshot painted.
Right.
Like Dad did his parents' portraits from a photo. It's
right.
The same
thing. Exactly. So I don't want to look. I can't look. I can't. If I don't have to, I don't want to. God, I hate him so much. Anyway, okay, let's avoid it just for a little bit longer. Obituary. Save me.
Who was lucky enough to die?
I know. Who doesn't have to see the next horrible thing he does?
Who won the sweepstakes today?
Who said, I'm getting the hell out of here? Yeah. Guy Klucevsek.
Got me stumped.
I know. But what's interesting about this one is I'd never heard of him. And I think it was last week, I'm driving in my car. A song comes on the radio. And it was this guy, Guy Klucevsek. And It
was
was
he one of the? Wait a minute.
no,
No, okay, because I think I'm recognizing the last name now.
no,
Okay.
I doubt it. He was playing an instrument. It was an instrumental. An instrument that I normally, and I was transfixed.
Was he an accordion player?
That is correct. I couldn't,
Yay!
yes, I couldn't get enough. I wanted more. I didn't know an accordion could sound like that. Unbelievable. And his obit headline says, Guy Klucevsek, who took accordion to another dimension. Oh, yeah. And if you've never heard, I got to tell you, amazing.
You know that beautiful little accordion that your friend gave my son.
Yes.
Sits in a place of honor in his living room.
Yeah.
And he plays it all the time. I mean, he honestly was playing it last night.
Wow.
Because I complimented him on how nice it looked up there. He goes, yeah, I'm playing it more now than I have in years because there's all these guys that play music in the neighborhood and we accidentally found each other and now we just play together all the time.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, I have to tell you, it's amazing. You look them up, Klucevsek. It's impossible. It's one of those obits that it comes with pronounced Klucevsek, thank God, because I wouldn't know, looking at it, I wouldn't know what to say. I mean, his accordion is in tons of Academy Award winning John Williams scores, Steven Spielberg films, and he hated, the accordion music that like we think of as accordion music. And it's the accordion music he grew up on, though. And it turns out he grew up right around here in Springdale, PA, which is near here. His mom abandoned him. And she had custody of him. His father had given him his first accordion when he was 6, and then they get divorced. And the mother abandons him, and he said this is in New York City, and he ends up.
Well, wait a minute. Do you know what a 6-year-old playing an accordion sounds like?
Did you hear one at the graduate? What? No, I don't know.
No,
I bet
it's just a bad joke.
No, but I bet he was good. I got it. Okay, but I bet he was good.
Well, he got good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the poor now orphaned kid was sent off to an aunt and uncle near here, which is where he grew up. But he kept on playing that accordion, and he ended up, because this is a place where a lot of people get into polkas, there was an elite accordion teacher here in Pittsburgh named Walter Grabowski, and he fell under his sway. And that's when the kid got really, really good.
I think the word is more tutelage than sway.
Okay, tutelage is a good word. So
I'm just proving that I'm listening. Yes.
Is that to suggest that you're bored by this particular obit?
No.
Okay. I have one more thing, and then I'll stop this obit. Because he was here, in part, but not necessarily, he ended up on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He ended up on the show. And this is in 1988. And he played part of one of his compositions for Fred and his audience. And I'm sure Fred was just blown away because he was a musician himself and loved.
Right.
And he, of course, starts earnestly, I'm sure, asking this guy all kinds of questions, and typical Fred questions, because it says in the obit that he asked Fred asked him whether he was able to express sadness or anger or happiness.
It just sounds like Fred Rogers.
Yes, right, on his instrument. And he answered thusly, sometimes you can't tell somebody how you feel, but when you're alone, you can express it through your instrument. Yeah. So that's a classic Fred question, a perfect answer. And, it made me think of when I was a silent kid, unable to express all the stuff going on in my head. I did that. I played the piano. And an instrument.
Right, and when I came up after you, and I was a happy little kid and had no such emotions to pour out of me, and I tried to play the piano, everybody told me to shut up.
Well, they did not.
You think I couldn't hear you guys laughing in the kitchen while I was practicing?
No, I don't have any such memory. So yeah.
It wasn't your trauma, that's why.
Wait, Ben is telling us something about, he knows something about Klucevsek. I would think people around here might, but he was new to me. He graduated from Pitt and from IUP. That's another school right here. And Ben is saying he is the most important accordionist for interpreting new works. I mean, he's worked with, a slew of amazing other artists, dancers, performers, yada, yada, yada. But he's now dead. He was 78. Okay. But if you've never heard, that's something to treat yourself to. Is amazing. You'll never think of the accordion in the same way. All right, dare we get into any news? I just, Suze,
You don't have, not on my account. I mean, Arlie had to tell me that there was a bombing, where the drones that took out the Russian planes.
Oh, that was amazing. That's the only good.
Wasn't that wonderful?
That's
good news.
That was such great news. And I was saying yesterday that when I heard about it, I turned on CNN because I wanted to know more about this amazing thing the Ukrainians had pulled off. And what I got was breaking news, old Jews set on fire in Boulder, Colorado. So they weren't covering it because old Jews got set on fire in Boulder, Colorado. So but wow. The more I hear about what they pulled off, the more astonishing it is.
It's really astonishing. And I mean, I did some reading on it this morning, so I understand that, of course, it's more of a psychological victory than anything else. But what they did do is take out about 40% of these old bombers that have a longer flying
range.
But that's how they deliver.
Right.
They're long range things that they could do damage to both the United States or Europe or farther places that were out of range of their other planes that are actually pretty short range. So to that extent, and just knowing, I mean, I think they know they have to start going in and making hits deep within Russia in order to make Putin understand that
this ain't going to work for you,
and we're gonna get closer and closer to things you can't explain.
And you're not going to be able to control this war. As we're not jumping when you say jump, you son of a bitch.
Well, drones that I find the drones are really a huge equalizer.
Yeah, but equalizer is one thing. The other thing they are, which scares the hell out of me, is that
scary little things.
Well, you can apparently get one up and for hundreds of dollars. And I heard somebody say, yeah, a $300 drone can take out a $300 million dollar aircraft.
You
So,
betcha.
but here's the
That's why
problem.
I mean,
Here's the
remember all
problem.
that stuff around New Jersey that everybody was so upset about
Yeah.
several months ago?
Yeah.
That's what they were upset about.
Yeah, right. So here's what I'm thinking. That means if it's a great equalizer, that means a nutcase now can hit. You want some terror?
Yep.
It's going to come from the
Well,
sky. It's going to
it's
come from the
always been that
sky
way.
with a nutcase in his underwear with a remote control.
It's just another way, But going back to the poor Jews in Boulder,
Yeah.
a flamethrower or a grenade will do.
Right.
I mean, a
And it could
Molotov
be the next
cocktail
one
will
will
do.
be yeah, I know. This one, I mean, these drones can really do, I don't know.
Oh, I know.
The technology is just, speaking of that, I saw this new HBO movie last night that was written by the guys behind Succession. It is a send up of these vile tech bros and billionaires like Elon Musk and their megalomania, their emotional immaturity, their absurdity. And it's pretty good. It is funny. It's meant to be, it makes fun of them, but in a sobering way in how much they control even nations. Because I'm clearly modeled on Musk,
Yeah.
and how nations are beholden to him for often their, we are for what, our space program now, others for their communications. So you have one lunatic who, if he gets a little crazier, can think, I'm just going to take over the world. So anyway, I recommend it as a dark comedy. Good actors, and because it's the guys behind Succession, it's good writing, good acting, and it is funny, darkly funny. Oh God.
See, I was thinking, God, that just sounds like, why do I want to watch it? I don't want to watch the news. Why do I want to watch that? It sounds like the same thing.
Well, that is, yeah, that's the problem. I don't know. That's the problem. Oh, okay. So it's called, by the way, Mountainhead. Mountainhead, and stars Stephen Carell, Jason Schwartzman, Rami Youssef, and Corey Michael Smith. I don't know anybody anymore. Although some of those guys I did know. All right. Hey, so the next things to be afraid about, bird flu, right? That's one of the things in the back of my head, that thing, we don't hear about it much lately. The only thing I heard about it recently was that the Trump administration
Yeah, canceled the virus.
canceled the vaccine contract. So if the government, our government wisely realizing that a lot of scientists were saying, we aren't there yet, but this looks like another potential pandemic. And we're already seeing, people sick in this country from it. He canceled a $500 million contract contract with Moderna that was developing a vaccine for
Well, they
bird.
canceled the contracts for the COVID vaccine, so now the
Yeah.
pharmacy, if insurance companies take the lead and say, well, nah, we don't have to, it's not recommended, we don't have to, although the CDC did go against
Yes.
RFK
Well,
and recommended COVID vaccines anyway. And by the way, there is a new strain out there, and you should go and get vaccinated again.
well, I don't know. I was actually wondering about that because I have a friend who just was
Whether it's covered in the new vaccine, right?
right, who has COVID right now, and it ain't fun. And she's one of these people who had actually avoided it up until now. She got it, this new
Yeah.
one, and I was walking the dog the other day and bumped into a woman who was packing up her car, and out of nowhere, she said that she'd been here tending to her daughter who was very ill with COVID and had been hospitalized and now was out of the hospital, and she was finally able, she thought, to go back home. And she's the first one who said to me, there's a nasty COVID bug out there now. So I did see something that you're supposed to get another one, but I like to save them until the winter when the spread gets more intense because of, I don't know whether to get one now. I don't know what's smart as an old person with
I think you get one now while it's out there. You can always get another one in 6 months.
Well, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, you can. You'll be able to because
I'm an old person.
Even RFK is recommending them for us old folk.
Mm. There's a bunch of. Did you hear this one? RFK is going to kill a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah, but he really. This is the guy too who dead whales, dead bears. I don't know. He's like whatever. I don't know. He's insane. He has freaked out because the Canadians are going to kill 400 ostriches that have been exposed to the bird flu. Might be on an ostrich farm. I didn't know there was such a thing, but there you go. And Kennedy is saying, no, do not touch them. And he got Dr. Oz all freaked out about it. And Oz said, no, they can be relocated to my ranch in Florida.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, no, you can't import diseased animals.
Did you fucking even make that up? This is our two health leaders under this clown administration. And there's 400 sick birds in Canada, and he wants to bring them to Florida. You can't make it up. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. So,
may the Lord visit us upon these foes, all that they are trying to impose on us.
Well,
and spare us, O Lord.
Oh dear God! Oh,
I'm trying to reframe my violent nature into prayer.
Well, it slightly ameliorates the yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted you to know I take your criticisms to heart. I try and incorporate them into bettering myself.
All right. Well, here's something. I am going to continue avoiding horror. Milton sent me some of these. Every once in a while, the Washington Post has one of these contests where they they asked people to send in, I don't know how to pronounce it, neologisms. You come up with a new definition for an existing word.
No, okay.
Okay, such as coffee. And this is, someone came up with, the definition of coffee is the person upon whom one coughs.
A coffee, right.
Right. So now, okay, so we got that. Okay. How about lymph, like lymph nodes?
Okay.
Here is a definition. Lymph, to walk with a lisp.
Oh, sorry, I snorted.
I did snort, but okay, let me see. I don't know. Some of these are, abdicate. Abdicate. To give up all hope of ever having a flat stomach.
I thought it was to overexercise. Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I knew it had to have something to do with abs.
Here's one. Circumvent.
It's a missed suture in a circumcision. I don't know.
Well, you're in the right territory, Suze.
I know I am. I'm trying to. I know where I need to be. I don't know how to
get there.
Clever.
Okay.
What did they say?
Circumvent. An opening in the front of boxer shorts worn by Jewish men.
Right. Okay. There you go.
It's sort of like Mormons have specific underwear, right?
Underwear, right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's a little window.
It's a little window. I think that's one more, maybe. I don't know. Balderdash.
It's a little bit of oil you put on your bald spot to make it shine.
Okay. Well, you're in the right area. Balderdash. Balderdash. A rapidly receding hairline.
Hairline of balderdash.
That gets
the
bald.
I mean, I know where I'm supposed to go, but these are all right. These are all far more clever than I can do on the fly.
In a second.
This is a clearance exercise.
Okay, I think those are some of. I mean, there's more, but
yeah.
We want to thank Milton for sending. I think he sent them because we were
flailing. I was
listening
to
he sent them some weeks ago because we had decided that I was going to do the last Thursday of every month. We would do a show where we were calling it Throwback Thursdays, where we wouldn't, Trump wouldn't exist, and we would just do radio like we used to do radio. And we already did one of those last Thursday, and it was fun and much better. He's taken so
good
much.
For the soul. Yeah, you gotta. We have to keep ourselves healthy for the fight, gangs, and that includes our brains.
Yeah, that does. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can keep this up though, Suze. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I was going through. I'm cleaning stuff out. Just trying to. I don't know, rid myself of stuff. And
yeah, you sounded downright Canadian there. Out.
And I came upon some booklets, and I start looking through them, and it's clear that throughout my life there have been like these false starts at keeping a journal. And oh my God, the stuff I came across. Oh my God. I was thinking, should you burn it? And I thought no, because, no.
I keep trying to write stuff down too, and then I go back and read it, and it sounds so.
Yeah.
Just the tone is just not anywhere where I would want it to be, and I just end up erasing every time. I can't.
But it's also
Yeah.
it's revelatory in that it does say something about you at that moment when you wrote it, at
Yeah.
that moment, at
Yeah.
that time in your life. And in that regard, it's interesting, I think. We've got a caller here, it turns out.
No, miracle.
I know. Miracle of miracles. Hello.
Speaking of miracles.
Ah!
You rang?
haven't listened in about a month, and my name comes up when I I said I was listening to those things, and I went, they're laughing at those, and I always get moans and groans. Those are puns.
Well, so it was an accurate reference, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what actually prompted me to call, I actually thought about it before my name came up, was circumvent.
Yes.
And the first thing I thought of was, oh, Susan just did that. She avoided venting.
Oh, by the prayer thing. Yeah. By the prayer.
By the prayer thing. That was the circumvent.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought they were going, although I did like the actual answer, but I said, what a coincidence. Circumvent. That's what Susan just did. And it works on two levels. I like it when it does that. It works on two levels.
Right. They were clever.
I was like I always get highly upset when people come up with stuff that I don't come up with.
Well, right. That's why it was aggravating me too, Clarence. I couldn't get near any of them.
Yeah.
Well, people spent a lot of time with those. You don't think? My favorite was was the one that made Susan snort. Lymph.
No, snort. Yeah.
Lymph.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
Lymph was to walk with a lisp.
With the lisp. That's basically what I came up with when you said it. It has something to do with walking and not talking correctly. And but with you say it took them a long time. Most people who do puns, it doesn't take them a long time. It instantly pops in your head. Yeah, it doesn't take a long time at all. Yeah, you always hear it in like two.
Right. If humor were something that I had to work on, I would not be funny.
You want to hear one other? Just to annoy you, Clarence? Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's a Jamaican with freckles.
Oh, you're close. No, you got half of it.
No, it's a Jamaican eating tuna.
No, it's a Rastafarian proctologist.
A Pokemon.
A Pokemon. Yeah, that's good. And let's drop in your pod today. I got to get a little poke in there, man.
Dear.
I wish I could think of a Jamaican song that I could make something up to.
Well, listen, no one's
a popular one.
Yeah.
Huh?
No one's. You're not on the spot. One doesn't have to. No.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, well, listen, that's on you, not
it
okay.
Kills me. I can't even think of the famous Jamaican with the fro.
Marley.
I can't even think of his name.
Marley.
Oh yeah, Bob Marley. Yeah, Bob Marley.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
And his little son too.
Yeah. Jesus, you two. You know.
No, he got my joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? And your little
Hello,
dog,
my pretty, and your little
and your
dog.
little dog
Huh?
too. Yeah. Which is weird because one of the subjects I was possibly going to talk about today was Toto, not the dog. Anyone know
The
another?
band?
Huh? No.
The band?
No. Toto.
No, that's when you have to remove identical cars from the parking lot. You have to tow them away.
Yes. It's a Toto. Yes. No, it's a Japanese toilet.
Oh, that's right, Totos.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have those. Shame on me.
Yeah.
See, I'm, my polymath just flunked this class.
Well, there was a whole
it's just
big,
a brand of toilet that's
there was
very
a whole,
popular called Totos.
whole big article in the business section of the New York Times about Totos.
Totos are priced out of the market because of tariffs.
Well, it's not going to help. That's true. But I have one. I have had one for years, and it totally changes you.
You mean it totally changes?
Yeah, you realize again how backward our culture is, because with a Toto, you don't.
Oh, it's got a little guy in it.
You
that
don't
comes out
wipe
and
yourself.
washes and sprays.
You don't wipe yourself. Your hand.
Somebody does it for you.
Somebody does it for you, but by night you have to do it yourself.
Listen.
Hey, you got to start it with those.
Yeah, I know. But so I do have to tell you that when I leave home and I don't have my Toto, I feel like I've, gone back in time, like before there was refrigeration and people are living with their toilets, these horrible toilets where you have to wipe yourself. It's so much cleaner. It is so much better. The Japanese are so onto the right way to do this.
No, well, you are correct about that, and especially since Charmin went to the dark side. And I have to tell you that these bamboo toilet papers are not
up to snuff.
So you don't have to deal with it. They're European in nature.
Uh-huh. Flimsy,
which is to say they're scratchy and not
scratchy.
soft.
Okay. No, these Totos, well, we don't have to talk about it, but everybody...
You see, we've shut Clarence up. All we have to do is start talking about wiping ourselves. Paper.
To be honest with you, I ain't gonna talk about that crap.
Do you know who else
Good for you.
Another person that I read his work, he's got a new book coming out actually, Damon Young. He's smart, funny. He got himself a Toto last year and he went nuts. I mean, it happens to all of us who get them. You just say, why the hell isn't everybody using these? In Japan, 80% of households, that's all they got. Yeah.
Well, it's certainly better for the environment, and cutting down trees just to service your tush is sort of awful.
Mm-hmm. We did shut Clarence up.
I still don't know what they are. Are they bidets?
They're bidets.
It's like a bidet.
They're toilets with a bidet function built in.
Well, It's more than a bidet in that there's a little wand, they call it a wand, that's in the toilet, that when you're done, there's a control panel. And when you're done...
Do they call it a Pokemon?
When you're done,
you tell the spray where to go.
You tell the wand to get your behind or your middle or your front, whatever, and it positions itself and sprays perfectly. The water is at a specific temperature, nicely warm, and up it goes, and you can have it at a certain rate, and you clean yourself up. And then if you want, you can air dry.
You can have a blow dry.
That's right.
Wow.
And there's also like this, the minute you sit down, there's like this deodorizing function that starts in. You can, and the seat is also a perfect temperature, never cold. You can't believe it. You'll never sit on an American toilet again without saying, God, these people are savages. Not kidding.
You have to invite me up to, take a crap.
Yeah. Right. Now I know what you think about the remodel I did.
That's true, Susan.
Sorry.
You missed an opportunity there. Yeah.
I did miss an opportunity.
Yeah. They're the best. And it says they're starting to, the American market is starting to wake up. And they figure that their best way is exactly word of mouth, that people who have been there, done that, just go nuts. And so, yeah.
Well, for anybody who is actually interested in this conversation and wants to do something short of a full remodel and electrical redo on their bathroom, there are portable devices. I think it's made by a company called Tushy, as a matter of fact, Tushy, and they just replace your toilet seat with a bidet that does some of these things.
It does pretty
well, and and you can have that, plug it in, and for $150 or something.
I was first introduced to this entire design by that. Somebody gifted me. I got a marvelous gift of one of those toilet seats, which I had for years. And then, that won me over. So then I went to the real deal.
But people should know it's actually easily available without making a huge investment or trying to figure out how to get it done.
Yeah.
Does it flush by itself? Like you stand up and it just flushes? Anything like that?
Does it have an electric eye? Clarence wants to know.
Not the one I have.
Electric eye or, weight?
It has different flushes. So, it has a little flush or a big flush, depending on, but no, you do push a button. Oh, it does have automatic flushing, but mine doesn't. Automatic flushing and lid opening. Your hands don't have to touch a thing. They quote in the New York Times article a biology professor from Canada who went to Japan, and he sat on one of these and said, initially I was apprehensive. It's not a region of your anatomy that you're used to having sprayed. I think fairly quickly, though, you realize that North American toilets are vastly inferior. It's true.
Yeah. So, but just a caution, as we get very involved with all of this technology, I also heard the story of this woman that found pictures of herself on the internet while she was sitting with pants around her ankles on her master bathroom toilet. And she couldn't figure out who took this picture. How could this picture exist? Who was she supposed to sue? She does the research. It was her robot vacuum cleaner.
What?
They had sent a new update to the vacuum cleaner, and it was maximizing its ability to do stuff, and it was taking pictures of its environment and sending them to this place in Venezuela. I know now why, but someone saw it. Took a picture of this woman on her tush. So,
since when do robot vacuums have cameras? What?
Apparently. Apparently. I mean, do you know what they have?
I had one. I didn't like it, so
I
I gave
know,
it
but
away.
that's what I'm saying. When you buy it, do you go, oh, how does it learn its way around my house?
Well, it does. Yeah, it maps
Yeah,
your
I
well,
don't
house.
know for like a Roomba, I don't think it uses cameras. It uses like lasers.
Well, you thought that, but apparently there was a beta update or something that,
Yeah,
and
I think it's an update. Yeah.
yeah, and it had a camera in it, which this woman did not know. And anyway, I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure that they were sued. But I mean, it's stuff like that. Every time one of these new devices comes in, I'm wondering who's tracking what information every time I use it.
Well, anybody who uses Siri or Alexa or whatever those Alexa,
they're just downright spying on you. And
all
anytime your
the
watch
time.
talks to you for no
Right.
good reason, you know it.
Why would anybody
Yeah, I don't
want
use
that
any of
stuff?
stuff.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't use any of that stuff.
I don't either.
I dial my phone. I don't say, Siri, do this. Siri, do this.
Oh God, I get so
no.
angry when anybody says that. I do. I go nuts.
Yeah, I get really serious.
Yeah. It drives me crazy. It does. Siri, yeah.
Me too.
I'm thinking, do it your fucking self. Honest to Pete, what are we talking about here?
It's bad enough that you're just asking Siri to Google for you.
The problem I have is I don't want to pretend. They make you say a name like that, which is teaching us that these robotic things are like us, are people. They have names. I mean, I don't want to be screwing with any of that crap. I hate
Star Trek, they say computer. The computer didn't have a name. They just said computer. Yeah. So.
Damn.
Well, kept it in its place.
At least once a day, I say hi or excuse me to somebody talking on earbuds.
Yes.
Of course.
I hate that.
Yeah.
They're coming towards you, they're walking towards you, and you think they're talking to you, and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Or people who are talking while they're walking so loud that you turn around to see and it's like a half a block away, and I'm listening to this, thinking, what kind of a jerk are you to be talking that loudly about some personal crap, invading the public space? But it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse.
Yeah, the kids who grow up with it as the norm.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going to freak them out.
You don't want to know. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine. It really is. God, I don't know. Okay, well,
everything's totally at their fingertips. They just you change the dinner music by saying, Alexa, play blah 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 blah.
That's the thing. It's not even at their fingertips. They don't even have to
right. You don't have to know it. You don't have to have downloaded. They search for it, and there it is. It's just a totally different world.
Do you remember when we used to have to get up to change the channel on the television? Mm-hmm. Remember that? And then somebody.
Remember when you had to wipe your own ass? Remember that?
Yeah. Oh God.
The Lynn Cullen Show, a far-ranging discussion of current events in modern.
I don't know. God help us, guys. We've hit the hour.
Did we do it? Good.
Yeah.
We laughed through at least 20 minutes of that, which I think is a sign of a great day.
Well, that's pretty good. I was just looking at the date. You know what? Tomorrow is my wedding anniversary.
Oh. How long has it been since you've been?
It would be my 50. Wait a minute. It'd be 58.
Wow.
May
58.
May I say you had the most beautiful wedding dress I have to this day ever seen.
Thank you. Well, it wasn't a wedding dress.
but it was absolutely beautiful. This beautiful high-necked white silk sheared blouse tucked into a white satin skirt appliqued with roses. It was embroidered with roses. It was so beautiful.
I auctioned it off at Tree of Life.
Good for you.
People were appalled. I said, it's my wedding dress, only worn once. And the audience was like,
Did you say Tree of Life?
Yeah.
Say this. Brad Orsini, security guy.
Yeah, Brad
I
Orsini.
went to school with him. We graduated together. I went to school with Brad.
Oh, okay.
I've known him since I was like 10.
Wait, why did you bring him up?
This small world thing. Because you said something about the Tree of Life. That you auctioned it off at the Tree of Life, and every time somebody talks about that, I always talk about how I know the security guy I went to school with.
Oh, he was the security guy.
He always was a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's the head of security for Tree of Life. His name is Brad Orsini. I saw him give a thing on C-SPAN, in front of the Congress. I said, I went to school with that guy. You're famous yourself, so you've had that with Fred Rogers. For me,
Well, I think he was head of security for not just Tree of Life. I think he was for the Jewish Federation for.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
The Jewish community had a security person, and he's not that anymore. There's a woman who does it now.
Okay.
So I think he moved on to something else, but he had come from, did he come from the FBI or something, I think?
Yeah, he was FBI agent in New York for a long time.
Yeah.
He did something with Cyril Weck, too. He came back with during Cyril Weck times.
Yeah.
I know that guy. I went to school with him.
Yeah. Okay, now we're way past time. Not way. But...
Okay, bye.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's nice to hear from you, Clarence.
Talking.
Okay. Nice to hear from you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Okay, well, that was that. Tomorrow, I guess, is going to be brutal because I've used up all my, easygoing kind of stuff, guys. So all I got left is like, oh, my God, we're doomed.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.